Pessoal, estou mais um vídeo no canal aqui de Fortnite Mobile xcloud, né? E hoje, meus pessoal, estou aqui na Ilha das Lendas, né, meu parceiro. Eu vim aqui, tinha aqui campeonato, né? Eu entendo um pouco de inglês.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking about chemistry, I mean, one thing that this duo that they did that went above and beyond any of the rest of the duos is that they actually formed a boot camp together. For a lot of the season, they were playing right next to each other, and up until actually this week, like I said, they were playing right next to each other. But adjustments were made, right? They didn't necessarily feel comfortable playing right next to each other, so now they're back in their own setup where they are comfortable.
Oxi, travou ali, velho. Ih, bem aqui Fortnite. Fazendo travamentos, ó. Nos vídeos. Tem isso aqui, ó. Vocês são fracassos. Olha, um amigo. Hello, amigo. Hello. Hello, amigo. Hello. Enfim, voyage. Vivre voyage. Vicky Voyager. Aqui, manos, drops. Yellow Preference. Travou aí, ó. Ignorou. Botei, ó.
Fala, Samuel! Vou falar pra mãe. Eu falo que é, pelo amor de Deus. Fala assim, mãe, pega papel. Fala logo diretamente no carro, mãe.
Fazendo amizade, né, galera? Umas 2 horas aqui fazendo amizade com o Trelão. Cadê o amigo? Amigo? Gato de porra aqui que aparece toda hora. Por que esse gato aparece? Gato de arma! Mano, mano. Você trocou de jogo, Bel?
Troquei. Esse é o meu. O quê? Um jogo.
Não. Voltei, galera. Desculpa aí, problema. Vou tentar aqui. Minha equipe bugou, acho. Não, ela tava na frente e já fui pra trás. Eu tenho que ganhar, eu acho que vão dar um tiro na PNS. E eu quero ter uma show da PNS. Debugou, galera,
Trying to climb
debugou.
up, you see them natting, trying to get their resources around the map. And for them, their only worry, since they're already in zone, is getting the surge tag to stay above everybody else in the lobby. Yeah, it is going to be important here. And I mean, looking at the map, it does look like they have another team close by. This could be those much needed tags we were just talking about here moments ago. But we'll see how this continues to play out as Oakis is in the thick of it. No shield, going to get a little bit back up onto the body as Noxia's teammate going to disengage with him. This is probably the smart play at this point. They're not fully in zone, and a lot of people are going to be rotating on this side here. Yeah, that's something we've seen throughout the past couple weeks as well. As much as it's easy to make that decision to get aggressive and try to eliminate your opponent right out of the gates, for players like this, it's just getting the valuable tags for Storm Surge. They got what they wanted, and now they're rotating to that next position. For them, they're hoping to get there before everybody else and not get locked out of a congested side. Maxo going down very, very early on. Dozier trying to out. So, theory, a lot of these players should no longer be here. Yeah, you could be right here. And I think that's what they're thinking. They're looking like, you know what? I don't think these players are going to remain in this area. But can I get a reboot? That's the question. But we switch over here to Palbot, a collegiate pro. This man, it plays all walks of life of Fortnite, and it's exciting to see him here compete on the biggest stage in Surge Week. That's probably something in the back of his mind. That's probably a good tool for success. You're playing different variations of Fortnite. You're able to think outside of the box. They got that first elimination on to Meatball. Now Nerf is in a 2v1 situation. He's back up against the wall, and it looks like right now he's just kind of biding his time, being as patient as possible. Hopefully they leave this POI, and that way he can begin to rotate in. But timing is of the essence as this one continues to pull. He doesn't have the heals to kind of keep himself at pace. It's not going to be the best look. But you can see how Meatball went down in the first place. Palbot slowly but surely sneaking up, and a little bit of a 3-2-1. Timing is perfect for Palbot and Cranky. You love to see the quick elimination there on the back of a little hide-and-seek play. But speaking of Sneak, it is Snake sneaking some eliminations there in the distance. Huge shots landed there towards that team with Owl, but gonna miss a few more as we switch over to Liam. Liam and Veer, interesting duo. Not necessarily one to not keep an eye on, to be clear. This team, while the names aren't as notable, right, they still can make a huge stable play for the grand finals in this competition. I mean, that's the beauty of Surge Week, after all, is you don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to be a prominent name in the region. You just have to show up when it matters most. You saw them kind of catch Lawrence out of position, getting that elimination. Bucky went down early on, so you know that duo is back to the lobby. Lucky for them, they got 4 more chances to go on the day. And for Mikey and Smack, they're trying to take advantage in each and every one of those chances, positioning themselves just outside of zone to where they can try to gatekeep, lock some of these other players out and get their damage so they don't have to worry about it later in the game. And you got to match with the different augments. They get the chili chug splashes. As soon as they begin their rotation, they're going to get there rather quickly. Can I just say, those hollow chests being added here in chapter 4, or even actually last chapter potentially, but those hollow chests have been an incredible addition to Fortnite. You look at the loadout, and there are a few items that you can only get from those hollow chests, one of those being those chili chug splashes. Beautiful addition in my opinion, and that's what we're going to see a lot of players utilize. They're going to focus on trying to get as many keys as they can, open up them hollow chests, and get the loadout that they so desperately need to walk away with the VR. And I love seeing this right now, Blake and Bizzle, because this is one of the first things he spoke about himself. It only matters if we're able to get off spawn, because playing through consistency in a contested spot is one of the hardest things you can do, and for Blake and Bizzle, they're off to the races. You see them moving up from one split spot to the other. Larson and Nani trying to do the same thing, but for them, they got their position. They're trying to perch themselves on a little bit of a mountain, build high in the sky, and that way they can use their red eye, get their tags all across the map. And right now, they're sitting good, almost in the center zone. They don't have to worry about rotating because once again, the next zone is going to pull in, and they're right there at the edge once more.
Sitting pretty there. I like it. This is a good look here from Nani and Larson. And there is one of the most infamous clips from a previous reboot round in Fortnite history, and that is of Nani winning the game, and his excitement, his celebration live on stream is definitely one of those notable moments. So I'd love to see Nani walk away with one of those VRs today, because you already know Socials is going to go crazy with his excitement.
Yep, with so much on the line. 10 spots up for grabs on the day to advance directly to the grand finals and continue your journey to call yourself FNCS Major 1 champion. You got 20 Rhythm trying to position themselves just like everybody else, high in the sky. Surge tag, and looking at their inventory, they are stacked as can be, so that is going to be one of the only focuses that they have to really position themselves game after game, zone after zone, so they don't have to worry about it. We know how aggressive they can be as well, because they're one of the few teams that have already got a victory royale underneath their belt throughout the past 3 weeks, so they know they can get the job done. They know they have the ability to win through both formats.
Yeah, they definitely can, but another team that really can top, in my opinion, almost any team in this lobby. It is Slacked and Illis. Some of the best experience comes for this. We saw stats just moments ago, 222 total finals amongst the players competing here in Surge Week, and some of those finals are coming from Slacked and Illis. They are no stranger to these high-pressure situations. They know how to get those VRs. They know how to be consistent. It's just a matter of them choosing which one they're going to do today.
Yep, that's going to be the name of the game here. You can see the Storm Surge thresholds and why these players are fighting for the amount of damage on the second zone. Because if Storm Surge and all these players stay alive, it's going to have to go down to 64 players. That's 11 of them in the lobby right now that are going to have to get eliminated. While everybody's fighting for that Storm Surge, Kelly, you got a plan of how some of these players got it early on.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Kelly Link here with your action report, everyone. And we might see a bit more of a passive play style in this last chance kind of competition, but that's not the case for Redux and Snake. Not only did they already get 2 eliminations at the start, but we can see here them building the tower up, grabbing those much-needed Storm Surge tags, so they don't have to worry about it later on in the game. Back to you guys.
I mean, look, Storm Surge is super important. So for a team like Redux and Snake, great positioning from them and great call there by Kelly. Because look, a lot of these teams, the reason they are in Surge Week is because they struggled with Surge in the previous week. So this could be something they worked on leading up to this next few games, because it's one day, 5 total games, and 10 opportunities to proceed.
Yeah, you got to have that mental stamina through and through if you're going to be able to come out on top. You saw moments ago, 90 above. Now you see another team in the whole opposite direction, 56 below, and continuously falling. But a couple of shots traded off by Zented is going to get him barely above that threshold. The thing about a lobby like this that's set with 2 different ways to get in, 20 is not a real feeling of comfortability. His back is still up against the wall, and once again, he's dropping below the damage threshold, taking a big shot, and now the pressure is on.
Pressure is on. The heels come out, though, so they are going to choose to disengage. They know it's not worth hanging out there, despite them having an okay position to catch some other players rotating in. They still need to make their way into zone, and that's what we see tons of teams doing here on the edge, whether it's Keith Freeze, Focus and his teammate, or Jake and Scented, all just trying to make their way into the edge.
And I was saying, I'm agreeing with what Scented doing right now, trying to get up, trying to get out of shattered slabs. If you're down on Surge, you don't want to put yourself underneath all that elevation, underneath that natural cover that cannot be broken. They got themselves a spot with a couple teams nearby. Now they can start to get busy, just like Keys and Freeze, trying to get busy on this team. 127 below the damage threshold. They have to go, and they have to go now. You can see them trying to go for that piece of control, breaking into the wall, but they get denied. And now Storm Surge is taken in. The time is of the essence as Freeze continues to push forward. A huge shot on the Oak is backing him up, but he's still below the threshold. 101, as well as Keys He's going down. Everything comes crumbling for Freeze and Key.
This is huge, though. He did have the slurp juice in hand, so he's going to be able to combat that just a little bit, but he needs one more shot. Desperately looking to connect any kind of damage that he can, but now it looks like Senten and Jake getting into the fold here as Noxy and Ocus just looking to play on the back foot, playing a little bit more patient. They're just going to go ahead and get mats, take as much piece as they can, and potentially get a shot here onto Freeze.
Freeze not only dodged a big shot, but dishing out some damage on the Noxy as well. The longer he stays alive in a situation like this, the bigger chance of Jake and Senten ending up in the wrong box, and that could be his way to escape, which looks like one of the most dangerous positions he's going to be in all day. He lost keys. Does he have the reboot? That's going to be a question we ask as he continues to try to find separation, a little bit of elevation as well, and this could be the moment as he continues to fire down from above. That's making Noxy and Ocus kind of second guess their decision, and with him now taking shots on that other team, they know that it's not as safe as it once was.
Not safe indeed, but looking at Ocus and Noxy, they are going to get away. But I got to talk about Freeze for a moment because he is genuinely one of the most underrated players here on NAEs, and he showed just in that moment why. As a solo player, he just pushed two separate teams away from him, allowing him not only to potentially go back for that card, but to still remain in this game and potentially walk away with that beautiful VR. So a struggle points here for this team. If they can
with the backs against the wall, Storage doing a ton of damage. Down goes Yuz. It's now up to Chris. With cost of Lumen in the distance, he has to use the shield scrap. He's trying to take advantage of a situation like this. And he does. A huge shot from behind. He's able to get that elimination and keep his show on the road. And he's 922 above the damage threshold. That was just a cushion on top. He's able to get that elimination and keep his
looking at these players today, no one is slow. I feel like the nerves that you typically see it in a game one of any kind of high-level competition seems to be riddled with nerves from these players. That's just not the case today. We tuned in there just moments ago with Zeus and Costa in a game 4 elimination kind of high-level competition. I mean, what? Seems to be riddled with nerves from these players. That's just not the case today. We tuned in there just moments ago with Zeus and Costa. 4 eliminations. I mean, what?
Unheard of. But at the same time, sometimes when you have the blueprint, you don't want to stray far away from it. But as Steve and Hughes are having a blueprint of their own, Maxo trying to have a second chance at life. He gets knocked down, sent back to the lobby again. Now it's up to Dolzier once more as a solo. And if even Hughes would know, this is the time to get aggressive. This is how you get a refresh and eliminate one more team out of the lobby. But they hear the shots coming in from the third party. They don't want to find out more than they can chew, realizing the situation they're in almost perfectly before trying to go at it yet again. A little lack of judgment. A huge shot going to be traded off. B still not wanting to let this one go. This is a huge opportunity for them to get the refresh because he's running out of free. He's only got 101 effective shield in HP.
Yeah, you know, that just finds success in the most stressful situations. So, don't count this team out quite yet. Despite them struggling a little bit, there's still a long ways to go. Players stacked up on this one side. We struggle for them to rotate. But if I was looking at the map, right, before this, and all these players know that is not the case. Unfortunately for them, they are going to have to pull max distance away from where they're at right now. So if they don't start moving soon, it's going to be some trouble here.
Yeah, I like the change up. You got to see when those augments first got released, Fortnite was the go-to almost every single time. But as Fortnite introduces more and more ways to play with the augments, you're seeing players really think outside of the box. And a team that has to not only get outside of the box, but get the damage. You see its goals. Being a victim of Sword Surge right now, the splash is going to be used, trying to get themselves up. But they know they still need to find the shots. They still need to just land a couple of more. 96, Shockwave Hammer being used. They're just going to pounce on the first team that they see as they're getting shot and tagged up through the sky. This is their chance. Paper's on the other side, but a huge shot from Chamber to save the day.
Where even right now, it seems like they're going to win the game as a duo. They have the higher ground, but quickly got contested for it, but it didn't matter. At the end of the day, Larson took it back as a solo and ended up getting that spot in grand finals.
But Larson just did such an excellent job at maintaining ideal positioning to continuously challenge on that high ground, because even if he didn't necessarily maintain control of it, it's the fact that he was pressuring the other duo that was trying to stay on top, and those refreshes as well could not have come at a more pivotal moment for him. The fact is, he just kind of squeezed Nazan into a bit of a choke point, and there's really nothing left to be done. He's got the elevation to his favor. He could pretty much do everything that he wanted to at the end.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was the 1v1 that actually won the game out the victory route. But that quickly, like right before that, where he took out Polo, that was the one that gave him higher ground, and I think that that's gave him the advantage over the rest of the lobby for sure.
Yeah, and a key note here, we will not be seeing Nani or Larson. They're done.
Yeah.
They're going to grand finals. That's it.
Colocação,
They
velho.
do not have to play the next 4 games. Now we have to turn our attention to this top 5 once again. The duos that end in top 5 will also go to grand finals happening next week. Look at this. 2 of the duos we talked about at the beginning, right? Blake, Bizzle, we got to talk to Blake. Their focus, Jamper, Paper, another duo we have eyes on, currently sitting just inside that top 5.
There it is. Listen, we talked about it, right? They're back to their setups, right? Back to being comfortable. They have that relationship. That friendship is now built up to that boot camp. And I mentioned, I was like, listen, maybe that's all they needed, right? Go back to those comfortable setups. And I think they're going to do well in Surge Week. And right now, top 5 is a good place to be sitting for them.
Especially given the fact that their drop spot being contested in Surge Week, Solitary Shrines. I think that they've done a great job at actually moving into the late game, because that was something that I think they definitely struggled with in week 1 of the finals that they competed in. But I do want to see this consistency just continue to hold up for them. And this is definitely a duo where, if we're talking about victory royales or just placing in off consistency, top 5 is exactly where they want to be, and it's an area that I know that they can definitely uphold.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things that's looking good for them right now, right? We see so many souls alive in the end game, but them actually being one of the duos that are alive is looking good for the rest of the games, right? Because they have now proven that they can make it to these end games as a duo, whereas some of these other duos, they're just making it as solos, which is why we saw that game kind of fold out like that. So if they can continue to, 1, hold off that all spawn, and then 2, make it to the end game as a duo, I think they're top 5 at the end of the day for sure.
Absolutely. Really quickly, I do want to focus in on that number 1 spot. Right now, this duo actually had high ground going into those final zones, but then it kind of was just taken away.
And for Polo and Shanye, they've definitely, I think, had the right idea with looking for the high ground initially. It's just keep an eye on those builds. That's been the main issue that I think we're seeing in game number 1. We saw all those resources running a little bit low, but Polo, exactly, he still did a great job, though, of trying to push through it, despite the fact that he ran out of resources at the end there. I think it's just about keeping pace with how many mats you're actually expending throughout maintaining that high ground.
Yeah, I love it, right? Polo right there, trying to farm the tree, get those materials back up, and then he's like, oh, well, I'm looking this way, shockwave hammer coming from that way, and ends up getting taken out as a result of that. So be careful when you're farming those trees in the end game.
Yeah, again, we get it, right? It's very chaotic. This is Surge Week. Anything can and anything will happen, but to your point, right, you have to kind of know, if I want to compete with some of the best, I also have to know how to kind of hang on to my materials and utilize them efficiently.
Yeah, 100%. I want to hit home on the fact that you said, chaotic, right? I think at the top of the show, I was like, listen, when we looking at it, he was like, well, really it was like up, down, right? So I'm expecting we'll see that tenfold as the games continue.
And again, I think it's kind of just a testimony to the fact that in Surge Week lobby, it just seems as though there's really no establishment yet for who's actually taking control of the high ground. It's kind of just up for grabs.
Yeah, and really quickly, I just want to touch on the duos there in 4th and 5th, right? Blake, Bizzle, Jamper, Paper, they won out spawn game 1. Yeah. Can they continue this momentum?
Well, that's the crazy thing, right? Blake, we talked to Top Show, right? We had the interview. He was like, listen, we're going to go for high ground. They didn't do that. We're going to go for the victory royale. They didn't do that, right? So I think like everything just fell into their pocket when it comes to that game right there. So maybe now, like, if things start to switch up, they start to win more all spawns than they necessarily expected, they could just start playing for that consistency factor.
We'd love to see it. Well, we only have 4 more games left to go here in Surge Week as far as any East is concerned, but guess what? Games are ready to go, and so are we. And we hope you are as well. So let's throw it back into the capable hands of our casters for game number 2. A great opportunity for so many teams and players to realize what they did right or wrong in that first game and figure out a way to mimic it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially with Nani and Larson out. Will somebody take over their POI? Will they try to mimic some of the success that Larson found in that end game? Well, it's almost time here, folks. We will find out now as we prepare to crown another person that advancement achievement onto the grand finals.
Yeah, and the beauty of the whole thing here in Surge, because we saw that first team already punch their ticket to the grand finals, and then we saw the lay of the land on that leaderboard at the end of the day. But if a team in first, if a team in in second going into that final 5th game, ends up with that victory royale. It just pushes everybody up, and somebody's going to get that free spot into the grand finals. Game number 2 is ready, Panda. Let's get this one going.
Let's get this party started. Game number 2 is here, and we're going to be landing, it looks like, with a little contest station. You already know it, folks. The name of the game is these contested.
Esse baú já fica meio porra. Ô satanás, porra. A porra. Só para mais fáceis. Tá, galera, eu acho que eu vou fechar a live nesse instante. Rolando a live.
Zone, which is right above them, which means they have all that real estate to the southward.
So much space, and the zone is in their favor, so there is no pressure on their shoulders here in the beginning. But we gotta take a quick look here at what is happening over in the tower. Beautiful shots onto Jamper. Jamper exchanges here. Paper gonna go down 1v1, and Paper actually walks away with the elim onto Jamper.
Wow, that is a
lobby. Eu vou jogar a última partida, galera. Eu marquei 15 minutos, então acho que é o final. Salve, mano. Alguém me ouvindo? Alguém? Cuidado. Kapan. Você de esse canal no YouTube, galera. Sábados. também, galera, a capa do caninha tá do gato.
Wow, nanti kita bagikan ya teman-teman. Wih, teman-teman, boleh bantu coba nih. Wow, keren.
Já que eu não tenho carro, né? Beleza. A gente vai aqui somente amigos, porque idiotas basta. Antes lá que eu tenho visto xcloud é a borda preta, galera. Mas eu tô dando raiva com a borda preta, galera. Pra que serve essa borda preta? Aqui? Nada. Pessoal do xcloud. Xcloud, né? Xcloud. Pessoal, retirem essa borda preta. Senão é o seguinte, boys. Terei que fazer aqui. O AP é bom, galera. O AP é bom. Só que tem que tirar essa borda preta. Tipo, eu prefiro muito mais jogo profissional do que esse xcloud. O gráfico eu prefiro melhor no xcloud. Mas o profissional, isso que tem aquele botão lá. Eu gosto mais daquele botão, porque tem gente online aqui, olha. Nossa, minhas crianças, vamos ver se sai cuidado. Vou jogar duas partidas. Agora será.
O quê? Eu não.
Vamos, né, amor? Quer bolacha?
Parou, galera.
Você tem que sair. Olha o ABC. Pera aí. Essa merda.
Esse de sniper.
É barato aí. Barato do meu bolo da minha vida.
Peça aqui. 19 e 10 minutos. Cara, só bote. Eu vou lá lutear esse bot aqui. Ô, mas bot chato pra caralho. Desculpa, galera, que gente. Bot insuportável, velho. O dia que já vai matar. Oh, mas tem corre. Corre. Não sei lá. Não sei, galera. Agora. aí. Legal. Então pessoal, foi isso, espero que vocês tenham gostado.